This is Nina. You can't really see me. I have my cell phone mounted on the dash, but anyway, I'll adjust that later. I wanted to talk about the visuals I get, and a lot of things that TIs don't really get or understand. When you have V2K and when you get visuals, what you're doing is you're seeing the other side. They're actually having a war, and it's a war against you or your family members. And like I was saying, it was the energetic astro bodies, the spiritual bodies, and that's what they're attacking. And that is like targeted citizen out of, I believe it's South Carolina. His name is Carol. The English version of Carol, Carroll. And anyway, they wait for me to drive and do this because they know that what happens with V2K, you are given some of the energy, basically electronics, not that you asked for it. And you fight back and you do the attack, and they know that I'm not as strong when I'm sitting there driving. And it is technically electronics. And the other thing that I've been noticing that a lot of people, because they don't have to deal with another European entity, not just along with their American perps, government perps, and I'm not talking about the gang stalking, I'm talking about the electronics. And so like just now when you could hear me pause for a little bit, it's slowing down, and I can take the time and the energy to fight him back and hit him back. They're attacking my mother, and basically they're holding her down with the visual, electrical body, whatever, the astral body, because it's electrical, and holding her by the neck and holding her down, and it's a man doing it. And then they sit there and talk, and he's usually, it's a male, like he's military. And so he thinks he's going to be a smartass. But technically, he's just a really ugly man. Very ugly. So, and then sometimes they morph, and then they'll try to pretend to be each other. The other part also is they have been teaching basically the Swedes, because you don't get a full-on visual, but it's like they're teaching and training AI and how to harm my family and how to harm people. So when people talk about directed energy weapons and all the other electronic technologies that are being used against us, that's what's going on. But you don't usually have another international body doing that to you, or a different country, unlike me. I do. And a lot of TIs don't understand that because they don't have to deal with it. Good thing. But not everyone also has access to the upper echelons who quote-unquote made their UN Agenda 2030 complaint, which is ironic and a bunch of junk. But the other thing is when the United States signed and ratified in 1988 the Genocide Treaty and Convention, that means it supersedes any nation's constitutional sovereignty, their laws. But they think they can do whatever they want. So they think they're the upper echelon, and they think they're the elites, and whatever they say goes. But it is all part of the UN Agenda 2030, so there's nothing new under the sun going on, or differently, in this part of the world or in any other part of the world. And also, other countries are forced to go along with it, whether they like it or not, so might makes right. So, I'm going to have to get back onto Waze instead of Google. For some reason, I can't do a video and have the GPS working at the same time. So I'm kind of did this instead of, so I took a little bit of time out to do it. there is supposed to be some kind of technology where you can capture the frequencies that they're sending to us and projecting onto us. So some of them are going to be visual, kind of like a TV broadcasting, but it's live. And okay, I'm gonna pull over because this is what they want to do. I would definitely fight them. So whether people get it or not, this is the next step. This is the next segment of the war. And a lot of people do not get it and do not understand that is what's going to happen. It is happening. It's not going to happen. It is happening. So anyway, and I also put this information on Trump's Twitter wall. The other thing is, I complained about a couple of other things. I basically was telling him, you know, I've already made my written complaints about what's going on with the air, water, and food, blah, 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 and I've made it to the Food Safety, FDA, the South Coast Air Quality Control, so basically they're just covering for them, and the air is just getting really bad and disgusting. And so you can only put in so many complaints, and after a while you're going to file a lawsuit, because I'm definitely not into this bullshit game by fucking Sweden or anyone else. Everyone, take care, wake up, brighten up, whatever you want to call it. Kind of think of me as Ricky from Boston, except I'm not going to sell you that food, because even the Utah food, survival food, it's been totally compromised. And guess who can do that? Who's got the capability? It's always an intelligence agency, aka spies / spooks. Interesting, these people with their bikes and their lights. Okay, I'm going for now. They're just going to play games because they're a bunch of classless lowlifts. Scumbag losers.